Hey YouTube, this is Yirmiyahu Weeps, continuing my study on Bereshit chapter 1, Genesis chapter 1, and I'm going through notes that I have. I've done my own version of the scriptures. Well, I've started my own version anyways, to try and better understand. It's kind of an in-depth Bible study. Because, I figure if I'm going to proclaim these beliefs, maybe I should know what I'm talking about, so that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, in my notes, this is the very first instruction, very first commandment given by Elohim. Okay, the very first thing that he says to do. This is what he wants people to do. The very first instruction that he wants people to do. Have lots of sex and have lots of babies. It's the first thing he says to do. Of course, he says it a little more eloquently than I just did, but that's what he says to do. Then he also says, be masters over the land and be masters over the animals. Now, as far as being masters over the animals, well, how should we be masters over the animals? Well, where do we take our cues? Well, we take our cues from Elohim. How is he a master? How is he a master over us? Well, in some ways, people could say, well, he's kind of a brutal master, and I can see where they're coming from, and I'm going to get into that in a later video. But I think that how he's exemplified is in Yeshua HaMashiach, who people know as Jesus Christ. And how was he? Well, he was gentle, he was kind, he was loving. That's how we're supposed to be masters over the animals. They're dependent on us. They're not, animals aren't like our superiors in any way, shape, or form. I mean, sometimes they can be kind of wild or whatever, but we should be more mature than that, right? Anyways, going on, the several imperatives addressed to both males and females together actually form two commands, reproduce and rule. Elohim's message is not merely and only a blessing of putting end to them, but is now addressed to them personally. This is a distinct emphasis with the creation of human beings, but with the blessing comes the ability to be fruitful and to rule. In procreation, they will share in the divine work of creating human life and passing on Elohim's image. See chapter 5, verses 1 through 3. In ruling, they will serve as Elohim's vice-regents on earth. They together, the human race collectively, have the responsibility of seeing to the welfare of that which is put under them and the privilege of using it for their benefit. I think that says it really well. The responsibility of seeing to the welfare of that which is put under them and the privilege of using it for their benefit. So with animals, we see to their welfare because they're put under us, and we have the privilege of using the world around us to our benefit. If it's being abused, that's not really ruling it very well. That's not doing the imperative. That's not doing what the instructions say. The instructions say it's like we're leased this world, and it's like we're almost babysitting over the animals to be caring for them and doing right by them and doing right by our environment. Because really, I mean, everybody knows this, but seriously, if we're damaging our environment, who is that going to end up hurting the most? Us? Just makes sense to me. Okay, going on, apparently originally a vegetarian diet. And, hold on, I'm going to backtrack. I have to backtrack for a second. Give me just a moment. An N. Oh, Shabbat. On the seventh epoch, Elohim completed his activity. And that Hebrew word is malakah. And my note on malakah seems to indicate heavenly work, so divine work. So malakah is like the work of a messenger. The word malakim is either means messenger, or it can also mean like a king, a ruler. So I don't know, that's very interesting to me. Going on, according to Strong's, Shabbat is with two B's, English B's anyways, is from Shabbat with one B, the Hebrew word meaning cease, desist, and rest. But in actuality, it is the same word. And in that regard, the desist implication is often missed. The English desist comes from the Latin desistere, meaning of or about standing upright. A possible implication here is that if we want to stand with Yahweh, we need to rely upon Him standing up for us. We cannot work for our salvation or rescue, because Yahweh has already done everything which was required. Shabbat is actually, which that I think is very, very noteworthy. We can't do anything for our rescue. Like, if you need to be rescued, you can't do anything for it. You're at the end of your rope. I mean, personally, in my own life, that's where I found myself now, is I'm at the end of my rope. Everything has been so much against me. I feel like I'm screwed. What do? I don't have any more capacity to make things work out right in my life. I'm guessing there are probably other people that are the same way, and I'm gonna do another video that goes into how my life is for me right now and kind of share my story with that. But I'm just saying that all of humanity is in this shape. We're all in this shape. None of us can rescue ourselves. We're sunk. Every one of us is condemned to death. Every single person is going to die. There's no way around it. You can do whatever you want. You can try to prolong your life as much as you want. It's going to happen. You're going to die. I'm going to die. We're in bad shape. I don't think any one of us is sitting there going, oh, death is, yeah, that's right. Death is good and right, and I'm glad that I'm going to die. I mean, sometimes, I felt this life is so horrible that I wish I could die, but we all have something in us that wants to keep on going. Even with naturalism, the survival of the species. Why does a species want to survive? Why not die? Why exist? We all have something within us that wants to exist, but nobody has the capacity to effect their own rescue. Nobody gets out of this alive. And I believe that that there's other scripture that backs this up, that Yahweh says, I have effected the rescue. I have a plan in place. I'm making it happen. It's going to happen. I've done it. I'm sending who I am calling my son, Yeshua HaMashiach, who people know as Jesus Christ. He did the work that I set out for him to do, so all of humanity will get rescued. And there's verses that back this up, where he's going to rescue and save every single person. Everybody. Let me see how I'm doing on time. I'm so good. Got a couple minutes. So, I don't know. Personally, I don't really care whether you believe him or not, whether you believe in him or not. In a way, I'm reassured. I don't care whether you believe me or not. You're going to get rescued. There's hope. There's a future. That's one of the things that I really want to express, that I'm going to in a future video. I'm going to do it just a little bit now. There is hope. There's a future. Whatever you're going through, it's only temporary. It's not going to last. I'm saying this partly to myself, but I mean, if you're going if what you're going through right now in life is good, I am very happy for you. I hope that lasts. If it turns bad, just know that it's not going to last. It's only temporary. Anything in this life is only temporary. And I believe that he has something in place. He's going to rescue every single person, and he has a future hope that's a good hope in place for every single person. And I'm reassured. One of the things that has stressed me out in life is because I worry about everybody. Because I want everybody to be okay. And if not everybody is okay, then I'm not okay, because it bothers me. It just bothers me. And that's been a thing that's been really hard on me. Now the whole hell idea and everything, that didn't sit well with me at all, because I was like, that's not right. That's counterproductive. That is not that's not beneficial. What's the point of making people if all they're going to do is go suffer for eternity? That's horrible. I mean, isn't there problems enough without something like that? So, that's where I was coming from. But I believe that he is good. And, I mean, if If that was true, if there was suffering for all eternity for how many people, how could he possibly be good? How could you say he was good? You know, honestly, I have a hard enough time right now saying he's good with all of the suffering there's going on in the world. But I believe there's an answer to that, and I'll get into that in a future video. But I believe there's hope, and I believe good will prevail. To me, that's the thing that I cling to the most, is good. That's what I care about the most, is good. That's what matters to me the most, is good. Truth is important, but good is more important. If there's not good, there's not hope, and best thing to do is get out quick, because this life can be really full of it. Anyways, hopefully I haven't distressed anybody, even if anyone watches this. And I've got to go because my time's up, and have a good life, and I'll continue this in a future video. Thanks, bye.